He slid the paper across the table. I looked down. Parental care agreement. It was typed, formal, signed by a notary already. Sign it. My father's voice was flat. No question. No request. Dad. I set my bag down. You gave Ethan $4 million. Ethan has a family. I have rent. He needs a house for his children. I laughed once. Soft. Not really amused. You gave him everything. He's my son. And I'm your daughter. He leaned back in his chair. No guilt in his eyes. Not even a flicker. That's exactly the point. My brother Ethan didn't look up from his phone. He was sprawled on the couch, new sneakers on the coffee table. The sneakers cost $400 that I knew because I'd seen the receipt on his Instagram story last week. He posted everything. New watches, new cars, new dinners at places I couldn't afford. Just sign it, Nora, he said. No eye contact. His thumb kept scrolling. Ethan. Dad's old. He shrugged. He needs someone. Someone. You're his daughter. You're his son. He finally looked at me. His face was relaxed. Easy. Like this conversation didn't cost him anything. Because it didn't. He'd already gotten the money. The houses. The security. Look, he said. I have kids to raise. A mortgage. A wife who needs things. I turned to Sophie, my sister-in-law. She smiled at me. Gentle. Sweet. Like I was a child who didn't understand the world. Nora, she said. We really can't manage him. Manage him. His health is getting worse. Blood pressure. Heart. He can't live alone. So move him in with you. Oh, we don't have room. She gestured at the house around us. This house. The one my parents bought for Ethan last year. IT was huge, 0.4 bedrooms. A guest suite. The kids need their own rooms. It's important for development. I stared at her. Development. Yes. She nodded. You understand. I didn't understand, but I was learning. I was learning exactly how much I was worth in this family. Exactly where I stood. Here's what we're thinking. Ethan finally put his phone down. Sat up. Leaned forward. You pay $5,000 a month. We match it. $5,000. Dad's retirement is fine for basics. But medical costs? Assisted living if he needs it? We'll split it 50-50. $5,000 a month. Yeah. He grinned. Fair, right? I made $38,000 a year. Before taxes, before rent, before food, before utilities, and my apartment was a studio 0.400 square feet, and I walked to work, so I didn't have to pay for parking. I did the math. $5,000 a month. $60,000 a year. More than my entire income. Where do you think I get that money? Ethan looked at Sophie. She looked at Ethan. You make decent money now, she said. You've been working for what? 16 years? Decent. Your rent can't be that high. You live in that tiny studio. I didn't correct her that I didn't mention that tiny cost me $1,800 a month, that I spent $30 a week on groceries, that I hadn't bought new clothes in 2 years. Then my shoes had a hole in the left sole, but I patched it with super glue because new shoes were an extra expense I couldn't justify. You're not married, Ethan added. No kids. No one to support but yourself. I support myself. Exactly. He spread his hands. You can afford it. This wasn't a negotiation. This was a verdict. I looked at my father. 62, gray hair, wrinkles deep around his mouth. He'd worked construction his whole life. His back was ruined, his knees were shot, but his hands were steady. They'd always been steady. They could swing a hammer, throw a punch, push a piece of paper across a table. Dad. I kept my voice calm. $4 million. I heard you the first time. Why didn't any of it come to me? His face tightened. You know why. Explain it. Your brother is carrying the family name. He said it like it was obvious. Like the words themselves were oxygen. Your children don't carry our name. They carry someone else's. I don't have children. Yet. And if I never do? That's your choice. He shrugged. Your problem. My problem. Yes. I looked at Ethan again. 28.4 years out of college. Every single cent of his tuition had come from my paychecks. The first month of college, I'd sent $800, and my entire check. I'd eaten instant noodles for breakfast, lunch, and dinner that month. I'd lost 12 pounds. I didn't mention that. I never mentioned that. Because in this house, my money was never mine. It was family money. It was supporting the family. It was doing the right thing. But when I needed something, when I needed to borrow enough for a security deposit, when I needed help with a medical bill, when I was 23 and sick and couldn't pay for antibiotics, there was never enough. Always next month. My father used to say, next month will help you. Next month never came. Your brother was the priority, my father said now. As if reading my thoughts. As if my thoughts were visible on my face. He needed the education. I didn't. You were a girl. He said it flat. No malice. Just fact. Girls can find work. Make do. Make do. Your mother made do. Her mother made do. All the women in this family made do. All the women. Yes. And now. Now you take care of me. He pointed at the paper. It's simple. You're not a child anymore. You understand how the world works. I understood. I understood that the world worked exactly the way he wanted it to. I didn't sign the paper. I stood up, picked up my bag, checked my watch. I have to go. Sit down. I have work tomorrow. It's Saturday. I have work on Saturday. That was a lie, but he didn't check. He never checked. He never asked about my job, my life, my plans. I was a utility, not a daughter, a tool, not a person. Come back tomorrow, Sophie said. We'll try again then. Don't bother. Nora. My father's voice hardened. You can't just walk out. I stopped at the door. Why not? Because I'm your father. You are. I turned back. And you gave Ethan everything. And now you want me to give everything I have left. He's your brother. He's a grown man. He has responsibilities. So do I. His face reddened. The vein on his temple pulsed. I'd seen that vein my whole life. IT had always been my fault. When I didn't clean the dishes. When I didn't finish my homework. When I was supposed to be invisible, and I made myself seen. You ungrateful. I closed the door behind me. The hallway smelled like old carpet and cooking. I leaned against the wall, closed my eyes, breathed. In, out, in, out. The stairs were narrow. I walked down them slowly. Each step took effort. Outside, the street was quiet. Suburban. Cars parked in driveways. The neighbors were doing yard work. A lawnmower hummed 2 houses down. A dog barked. Someone laughed. Normal sounds. A normal Saturday. I walked to my car. A beat-up sedan. 200,000 miles. The check engine light had been on for a year. I'd stopped bothering to fix it. It would cost more to fix than the car was worth. Ethan had bought a new SUV last month. Business expense, he'd said. What business? He worked in sales. He hated sales. He told me, once he wanted to be a teacher, I'd ask my father about it. Teaching doesn't pay, my father said. We don't send kids to college to be poor. Ethan didn't become a teacher. Ethan took the money, the house, the car, the vacations, the everything. And I took the bills. I sat in the driver's seat, stared at the steering wheel. The numbers were simple. $60,000 a year. That's what they wanted from me. They wanted me to somehow come up with $5,000 every single month to drain every account I had. To spend every paycheck before it even arrived. And if I couldn't make the payments, they'd come after me. They'd call me names. They'd tell the family. They'd make me the villain. But I was already the villain. I'd always been the villain. The daughter who didn't marry. The sister who didn't earn more. The woman who didn't know her place. I drove home. The studio was dark, quiet. I didn't turn on the lights. I just sat on the floor with my back against the door. 23. That's how old I was when Ethan graduated from college. His graduation party was a small thing. My parents had saved enough for a backyard celebration. I'd brought a cake, store-bought. I couldn't afford anything fancy. Ethan, my father had announced, is the first man in our family to graduate from a university. Not first person, first man. I was at that table. I was sitting right there. I dropped out of high school. You dropped out, my mother once said, because you weren't a good student. I hadn't dropped out. They took me out. They told the school I was moving. They lied on the paperwork. They said we were going out of state. I was 16. I didn't know how to fight it. I didn't know I could fight it. So I went to work. Factory job, my father said. Good honest money. $800 a month. Then I sent it all home. Every single dollar. My phone buzzed. I pulled it out. Ethan. I let it ring. He called again. I let it ring. A third call. A text. Answer. I ignored it. Another text. Dad's mad. Serious email. You can't just leave like that. I typed one word back. Watch me. I thought about turning off my phone, but then I thought about what would happen tomorrow. The guilt trips. The phone calls from cousins, the relatives who just want to talk. The social pressure. The invisible weight of a family that knew exactly which buttons to push. I didn't have the energy. I was so tired. I'd been tired for 16 years. I was 16 when I started working at the factory. It was a bad factory, loud, hot. The air smelled like chemicals. I worked 12-hour shifts. Some days I stood in the same spot for the entire shift, and my legs locked, and my back ached. My hands were raw from the same repetitive motion. I got paid $9 an hour. My father called it good money. And I believed him. I trusted him. Why wouldn't I? He was my father. He was supposed to protect me, guide me, help me. That was what fathers did. But fathers also made mistakes. My father made a mistake. His mistake was thinking he could take everything and still keep me, that he could drain me dry and I'd still show up, that I'd still look at him with love and need and hope. He was right for a long time, but not anymore. I stood up, walked to the kitchen, opened the fridge. There was half a carton of eggs, a head of lettuce, some condiments. I made scrambled eggs, ate them standing up. No plate. Just a fork over the sink. I didn't even taste them. I didn't taste anything much these days. Food was fuel, not pleasure. After I ate, I went to my laptop. My personal account. Balance, $43,712. $43,000. That was 16 years of savings. 16 years of giving everyone else everything and keeping only the scraps. And now they wanted $60,000 a year. The math didn't work. It would never work. But the math had never mattered to them. What mattered was that I was their daughter, that I was family. That family was supposed to take care of each other. That I should be grateful for the chance to help. The chance to help. I typed a number in my notes app. Total given to family, 16 years. Tuition, $32,000. Living expenses, $48,000. Down payment for Ethan's first house, $30,000. Wedding, no. Monthly remittances, $64,000. Other, $12,000. Total, $206,000. $206,000. But to them, I still owed. I owed loyalty. I owed labor. I owed my life. Because they gave me something priceless. They gave me the gift of being their daughter. Gift. I laughed. The sound was hollow in the empty room. My phone buzzed again. Sophie, call us when you get this. We need to talk. I blocked her number. Then I blocked Ethan. Then I blocked my father's number. I'd never blocked anyone before. I'd always been too scared, too worried about what they'd think, what they'd say, how they'd punish me. But I was 32. I'd been working for 16 years. I'd paid for their lives, their house, their car, their peace of mind. I'd bought my freedom. I just didn't know it yet. I went to bed at 9 o'clock. I didn't sleep. I lay in the dark and listened to the sounds of my building, the creaks, the footsteps upstairs, the hum of the refrigerator. And I thought about the next day, the next week, the next month, the next 16 years. Would it be the same? Would I fight this same battle forever? Or would I finally stop fighting? Just stop. Stop explaining. Stop justifying. Stop begging to be seen. I closed my eyes. And for the first time in 16 years, I didn't feel guilty. I felt tired. But I also felt free. I woke up to the sound of pounding. Someone was beating on my apartment door. Nora, I know you're in there. Ethan. I sat up slowly. Opened the door. I looked at the clock. 6 in the morning. He'd driven all the way here, from his house, in his new SUV, to pound on my door at dawn. I got up, opened the door. He was standing there, red-faced, vein pulsing, so much like our father in that moment. His hand was still raised. He'd been about to knock again. Good morning, I said. Don't do that. Don't do what? Don't answer the door like you're surprised. You were supposed to come back last night. I never said I was coming back. Dad needed you. Dad needed to sign papers. Same thing. No. I leaned against the doorframe. It's not. He pushed past me into the apartment, stared at the small room, the twin bed, the IKEA dresser, the stack of books in the corner, the single window. This is where you live. Yes. It's a dump. It's mine. You could live with us. There's space. Space for your kids. Not for me. I said there's space. You said there wasn't. Last night, with Sophie, you said no room. He opened his mouth, closed it. That was different. How? She meant we couldn't accommodate Dad, not you. Ah. She didn't mean you. Good to know. Look. He threw his hands up. Can we talk about this like adults? Are we adults? I'm trying. No. I walked past him into the kitchen, put on water for tea. You're trying to get me to sign a paper. It's not just a paper. It's a monthly payment I can't afford. Then move into our place. You can pay less. We can all help each other. Help each other? Yes. How? What do you mean, how? I turned to face him. How have you ever helped me? He stared at me. You sent money. You received it. So, who drove you to college orientation? I don't remember. I do. I was the one who woke up at 5 in the morning to drive you 6 hours. I had work that day. I called in sick. I lost pay. Why are you bringing that up? Because I'm tired. Of what? Of being the person who always gives. He was quiet. I made my tea, drank it standing up. Ethan. What? I need you to listen. I'm listening. No, I shook my head. You're not. You've never listened. You just wait for your turn to talk. Okay. Dad got $4 million. He gave it all to you. Because I'm the son. Exactly. I set the mug down. And I'm the daughter, so I get nothing. But when he needs a caregiver, when he needs help with medical bills, the daughter is suddenly the right person again. That's not fair. No, it's not fair. I leaned against the counter. I've been unfair for 16 years. I've worked, I've saved, I've sacrificed. I dropped out of school for this family. I paid for your clothes, your food, your car, your education. And not once, not a single time, did any of you ask if I was okay. Dad's not a monster. He's not a hero either. He's old, Nora. He's sick. He's scared. Then you take care of him. You know I can't. Why? He didn't answer. Because you have a wife. I pressed. Because you have kids? Because your life is too busy. Because I'm not a nurse. And I am your woman. He said it without malice, without even thinking. It just came out, as natural as breathing. I stared at him. You're a woman, I repeated. Yeah. And that means I'm a nurse. Not a nurse, just more suited, more patient, more nurturing. You don't even hear yourself. He blinked. Look, I just want to fix this. Fix what? Dad's situation. His situation. I laughed. He's got $4 million. He could hire 100 nurses. He doesn't need me. He needs family. He needs you. Nora. No, Ethan. No. I walked to the door. Opened it. Go home. Are you going to sign? No. Dad will be upset. Dad can be upset. Dad could disown you. Dad already disowned me. I smiled. 16 years ago. He stepped past me, paused in the hallway. You're making a mistake. Maybe. You'll regret this. Maybe. I'll call Mom. Mom's dead. He flinched. Our mother died 5 years ago. Lung cancer. She'd smoked her whole life. She'd hidden the cough from everyone. By the time we found out, it was too late. I'd been the one to take her to appointments. Ethan came to the funeral. She would have wanted you to help Dad, he said now. She would have wanted Dad to be fair. Mom loved you. Mom loved both of us. She loved you more. Then why did she let you get everything? He had no answer. I'll give you a week, he finally said. Think it over. I've been thinking for 16 years. 1 week. I closed the door. He was wrong about one thing. I wouldn't regret it. I'd spent too many years regretting things I didn't do. Too many years apologizing for being alive, for existing, for needing things, for being a daughter instead of a son. But I was done apologizing. I was done shrinking. I was done making myself smaller so other people could feel bigger. Today I was going to work. Tomorrow I was going to work. And after that I was going to figure out how to live. Actually live, not just survive. For the first time in my life, I was going to be selfish. And it felt incredible. I went to work. My office was small. I shared it with 2 other people. Accountants. Boring job. Good pay. But I did good work. Clean work. The numbers always added up. My boss was a quiet man named Adrian. He noticed things. He noticed when I came in late, when I didn't eat lunch, when I was distracted. But he didn't ask. He just left a cup of coffee on my desk. The right way. Milk. No sugar. I never told him how I liked it. He just knew. Rough day, he asked. Rough week. Want to talk about it? No. He nodded, walked away. There was no pressure, no guilt. I liked that. I liked him. But I wasn't ready. My heart was still closing a door. On my lunch break, I walked to the park, sat on the bench, watched the dogs run. Ethan would be telling Dad right now. He'd be making me sound like a monster, a selfish, ungrateful, horrible daughter. They'd probably post something online. Family WhatsApp groups, discreet photos, cryptic messages. Why daughters forget their parents. How modern women lose their way. I didn't care. I didn't have to care. For 16 years, I cared so much it ate me alive. It hollowed me out. It made me into a shell of a person who only existed to give. Now I was taking back my life. My phone buzzed. A new number. Unknown. I almost ignored it. But something made me pick up. Hello. Nora. My father's voice. I almost hung up. You have a lot of nerve. I need to talk to you. I'm at work. Then listen. Just listen. I didn't say anything. You think I'm a bad father. Dad. You think I don't love you. Dad. I know I made mistakes. You don't know anything. I know you're angry. Stop. I know you think you deserve better. I closed my eyes. Dad. What? This conversation is 16 years late. I'm trying to fix it. No. I open my eyes. You're trying to get me to sign a paper. You don't want to fix it. You want to use me. That's not true. It is true. You don't care about me. You care about what I can do for you. Nora. I'm not signing. Signing what? The agreement. The responsibility. The trap. I'm not falling for it again. I hung up. Blocked the number. My hands were shaking. But I didn't feel guilty. I felt alive. I went back to work. Adrian was at his desk. He looked up. You okay? Getting there. He nodded. I'm making dinner tonight, he said. Meatloaf. Mashed potatoes. If you want to come. Adrian. I know. Boundaries. I'm not asking as your boss. I'm asking as someone who wants to feed you. I've got a lot going on. I know. Serious stuff. Family stuff. I know. I don't want to talk about it. Good. He smiled. I don't want to talk about it either. I just want to eat with you. I looked at him. Kind eyes. Quiet voice. No demands. No expectations. No pressure. I said. No pressure. I thought about the last time someone had made me dinner. The last time I'd eaten with someone who wasn't asking for something. I couldn't remember. I'll come. Good. He smiled again. And for the first time in a long time, I smiled back. That night, I ate dinner with Adrian. No talk about family. No talk about money. No talk about the paper I wouldn't sign. Just meatloaf, mashed potatoes, a glass of wine. He didn't ask why I stayed so late. He didn't ask why I looked like I'd been crying. He just sat with me. Quiet, gentle, present. Thanks, I said. For what? For not needing anything. He reached across the table. Touched my hand once. Quickly, gently. I don't need anything, he said. I just like you. And for the first time in years, I believed someone. I went back to work on Monday. Adrian left coffee on my desk. Same way. Milk. No sugar. I didn't drink it. Just held the cup. Let it warm my hands. My phone buzzed every hour. Ethan. Sophie. Cousins. Aunts. Uncles. Everyone had an opinion. Sign the paper. Be reasonable. Family comes first. I deleted every message. By Wednesday, I blocked 15 numbers. My father left a voicemail. Nora, we need to talk. Come to dinner Friday. Just us. No pressure. No pressure. I almost laughed. But I went. Because I was tired of hiding. Tired of dodging calls. Tired of being the runaway daughter. I showed up. The restaurant was nice. White tablecloths. Candlelight. Expensive. Ethan and Sophie were already seated. Sophie wore new earrings. Ethan wore a new watch. I sat across from them. Thanks for coming, Sophie said. Dad isn't here. He wanted us to talk first. Talk. She leaned forward. We've been thinking about the arrangement. She smiled. Maybe we were too harsh. $5,000 a month is a lot. It is. So we're offering a compromise. I waited. $2,000 a month. Plus you handle his appointments, doctor visits, medications, that kind of thing. You want me to be his nurse. His caregiver. She corrected. It's different. It's the same. It's less money. It's still money I don't have. Ethan cleared his throat. Nora, you're not being fair. Fair. Dad raised you, fed you, clothed you. He fed me until I was 16. Then I fed myself. So you're holding a grudge. I'm stating facts. You're being stubborn. I'm being honest. Sophie reached across the table, patted my hand. Sweetheart, we're all family here. Don't call me sweetheart. I'm just trying to help. You're trying to get me to work for free. That's not true. I pulled my hand back. Okay, let's be straight. You have $4 million. Had. Ethan's face twitched. Had. We've invested some. Invested. Made some smart moves. You gambled. Smart moves. How much is left? He looked at Sophie. She looked at him. Enough, she said. That's not the point. Then what's the point? The point is Dad. Sophie's voice sharpened. He's old. He's sick. He needs family. He needs professional care. You can afford it. He needs love. He needs a nurse. You're his daughter. And you're his son. We have kids. And I have rent. We went back and forth for an hour. Ethan's face got red. Sophie's smile got tight. I stayed calm. Because I wasn't angry anymore. I was clear. Clearer than I'd ever been. Finally, I stood up. I'm leaving. Sit down. No. Nora, please. I looked at Ethan. You want to know what I remember? What? I remember when I was 19. I had the flu. Bad flu. High fever. Couldn't move. I don't. Dad called me at my apartment. He asked why I hadn't sent that month's money yet. I told him I was sick. He said, sickness isn't an excuse. Your brother needs tuition. Ethan looked away. I made myself go to work that day. I drove sick. I worked sick. I almost crashed on the way home. People get sick. I was 19. I needed help. I called Mom. She said, you'll be fine. You're strong. She was right. You were fine. No. I shook my head. I was never fine. I just learned to pretend. Sophie opened her mouth. Closed it. I walked out. Ethan chased me to the parking lot. Nora, wait. What? Dad called a family meeting, Saturday, at his house. Everyone's coming. Everyone. Uncles, aunts, cousins. They want to talk to you. Talk. Reason with you. I've heard their reasons. Just come, please. I looked at him. Why do you care? He's our father. He's your bank account. Ethan flinched. That's harsh. It's honest. Saturday, 2 o'clock. I got in my car. Drove home. Saturday came. I didn't want to go. But something made me. Maybe pride. Maybe closure. Maybe I needed to say the words out loud. To everyone. At once. I walked into the house. It was full. Uncle Paul, Aunt Marie, Cousin Rachel, 3 other relatives I barely knew. My father sat in his armchair. Grayer than before. Frielier. But his eyes were sharp. Sharp and calculating. Good. You came. You ask. I'm your father. You don't need asking. I sat down. Ethan and Sophie were on the couch. Sophie held a clipboard, like she was running a meeting. We're here, Uncle Paul began, to resolve this family issue. Your father is aging. He needs support. You're his daughter. And Ethan is a son. Ethan has children. I have bills. Children come first. Children come first. I repeated. What about me? You're an adult. I've been an adult since I was 16. Paul said, Nora, we understand you're upset, but you must think of the greater good. What greater good? The family. What family? The family that took my money for 16 years? The family that never gave back. You're being dramatic. I'm being honest. My father spoke up. You know the deal. What deal? You take care of me, or you're out. Out. Disowned. Kicked out. Erased. I'm already erased. You were never erased. I was. I stood up. I was erased the day you made me drop out. I was erased every month I sent money home. I was erased every time you called me the girl. I never called you that. You did. You said, the girl doesn't need an education. She'll find a husband. People change. I didn't. You did. Stop it. No. I'm done stopping. I turned to the room. How much do you think I've given this family? Silence. $206,000. Over 16 years. Aunt Marie gasped. That's not. Let me finish. $206,000. That's tuition. That's rent. That's groceries. That's everything. You chose to send it. Because you asked. Because you said it was family. Because I believed you. My father's face was white. I raised you. You provided shelter for 16 years. Then I provided for myself. We're family. Family. I laughed. You gave Ethan everything. You gave me nothing. He's a man. Exactly. There's no shame in that. There's no shame in being a woman either. Calm down. I'm very calm. Sophie spoke next. Nora, we can work this out. Work what out? Your resentment. Resentment. Yes. You feel underappreciated. We get it. Do you? We're offering compromise. $2,000 a month. Part-time care. Plus we'll list you in the will. List me. 10%. 10% of what? You spent the $4 million. We still have assets. What assets? The houses. You sold one already. That was an investment. You gambled the money. I invested it wisely. Where is it now? Ethan shifted. The market fluctuated. Fluctuated. We're down some. Down how much? He didn't answer. Ethan. 2 million. The room went silent. 2 million, I repeated. It's still there. Just temporarily reduced. Reduced to what? We have about 1.8 left. 1.8 from 4 million. These things happen. These things happen when you gamble. Investing is not gambling. Where's the rest? Real estate, a new business, some personal expenses. Personal expenses. Things we needed. I looked at my father. His face was gray. Did you know? Know what? About the money. Ethan told me. He told you he lost 2 million? Investments go up and down. Dad, he lost half. It'll come back. Will it? Or will he lose the rest too? Don't talk to your brother like that. I'll talk to him however I want. I turned to Ethan. You had $4 million. 4 months ago. Where is it? Business. What business? Sophie's boutique. Boutique. Clothing. Clothing that cost how much? 200,000. It's been open 4 months. It's a startup. It hasn't turned a profit. We're confident. You're burning through money. We're entrepreneurs. You're desperate. Nora. No. You're desperate. And now you want my salary to cover your losses. It's not about the money. It's always about the money. Aunt Marie spoke up. Nora, that's enough. Enough. You're humiliating your brother. He's humiliating himself. We are a family. We stand together. You stood together when you took my money. Where were you when I needed help? We didn't know. You knew. You just didn't care. Marie looked hurt. That's not true. Then prove it. Loan me 20,000. What? 20,000. Just a loan. I need a down payment for a house. I can't. Why not? Because my money is tied up. Exactly. I face the room. You have no money for me. You never did. You only had money for Ethan. That's not fair. It's true. My father rose, slowly, shaky. You leave this house. Dad. Now, tonight, don't come back. I wasn't coming back. You're dead to me. Good. Good. Now I don't have to pretend. I walked to the door. Nora. Ethan called. I turned. What? Think about it. I've thought. You're making a mistake. I'm fixing one. Dad's sick. So call the doctor. You're his daughter. I'm a person. I walked out. The door closed behind me. I sat in my car, hands shaking, but my heart was steady. Steady and clear. I called Adrian. Hey. Hey. Can I come over? Yeah. Nothing's wrong. Everything's right. For the first time in 16 years, everything's right. Come. I drove. He opened the door. No questions. Just a hug. I let myself be held. And for the first time in years, I wasn't alone. 2 weeks passed. No calls. No messages. I went to work. I ate dinner with Adrian. I slept better than I'd slept in a decade. Then Sophie called from a new number. Your father collapsed. Collapse? Stroke. He's in the hospital. Which hospital? St. Mary's. I'll think about it. Nora. Don't. I hung up. I went to the hospital anyway. Not to visit. To check. He was in the ICU. Machines. Tubes. Beeps. Ethan was there. Exhausted. Greasy hair. Stained shirt. You came. I came. He's not good. I see. He needs care. He needs nurses. We can't afford them. You had 4 million. Gone. All of it. Mostly. We have some, but the medical bills. Ethan. What? You made this mess. Fix it. I'm trying. Try harder. I walked to the window. Looked at my father. Pale. Weak. Small. He'd always been big. Loud. Intimidating. Now he was just old. Old and alone. But that wasn't my problem. It wasn't. I walked out. On the way home, I got another call. A known number. Nora? A woman's voice. Stranger. Yes. My name is Linda. I'm the hospital's social worker. Yes. Your father needs a designated caregiver. I'm not his caregiver. Understood. But someone has to sign the discharge plan. His son. The son is not available. Financially, I'm not available. Legally, if no one signs. What happens? He stays in the hospital, at public expense. Okay. Okay. Yes. You don't want to be involved. I don't. Your father has no other family. He has a brother, a sister, cousins. They declined. They declined. All of them. All of them. I laughed. That's funny. It's not funny. It is. He gave everything to Ethan, and now no one wants him. He's your father. He's a man who made choices. Choices have consequences. Yes. I hung up. That night, Adrian cooked dinner. Pasta, salad, wine. You okay? He asked. Fine. You're quiet. I'm thinking. About what I owe. You don't owe anything. I know. Then why think? Because I've been thinking for 16 years. Hard to stop. He reached across the table. Stop. Stop thinking. Stop thinking about them. Think about you. Think about us. Us. Yeah. He smiled. Us. I smiled back. Okay. But I didn't stop thinking. I just started thinking differently. That night, I made a list. Not of what I'd given. That list was done. A list of what I wanted. A house. A garden. Travel. A new job. Maybe a family. Maybe not. But my choice. My life. No one else's. I looked at the list. And I smiled. It was the first list I'd ever made for myself. It was beautiful. In the morning, Sophie called again. Nora, please. Your father is asking for you. Tell him I'm busy. Busy with what? My life. Nora. I said no. He's crying. That's his problem. He's sorry. He's been sorry for 16 years. I'm still waiting. Please. Goodbye, Sophie. I blocked her new number. 1 month later, Ethan moved to another state. I heard from a cousin. He'd sold the remaining house, started a new business, crashed again. My father stayed in the hospital, then a care facility, state-funded. Sophie divorced Ethan, moved back with her parents. The family scattered. And me? I stayed. I worked. I saved. I found my peace. Adrian was there, steady, kind, quiet. Want to get a house? He asked one day. Together? Yeah. You know I'm broken. So am I. Really? Everyone's broken. The difference is who stays. Stays. Stays and doesn't ask for more. I thought about my father, my brother, my whole family. All they ever did was ask for more. Adrian didn't ask. He just was. Yes, I said. Let's get a house. And we did. I never saw my father again. He died 2 years later, alone, in a state facility. Ethan showed up for the funeral. He looked older, thinner. You came, he said, to say goodbye. You forgive him? No. I forgive you. You never needed to forgive me. We're family. No. I shook my head. Not anymore. I walked away. Adrian was waiting in the car. He held my hand. You okay? I'm great. Really? Really? For the first time, I meant it. I made a new list. Paid off my mortgage. Started my own business. Adrian and I traveled. Europe, Asia, somewhere new every year. I sent money to a scholarship for girls who wanted to go to school. Not to family. Never again. But to strangers. Strangers who deserved a chance. Because I deserved a chance too. I took it. And I never let it go. 2 years passed. I built a life. Adrian and I bought a small house. Not big, just ours. I started my own bookkeeping firm. It grew slow, steady. I was happy. Then Ethan showed up.